16 teams continue the fight, but only 4 will make it to the finals in San Francisco. Welcome to Week 7. Welcome to the WGLNA. I'm Joshua Gray.
And I'm Randall Holcomb. There are so many teams, though, that still have a chance, even timed out, sitting right near the bottom of the standings, can make it back if the stars align.
It's time to put up or shut up, show up or blow up right now for all these different teams, because what matters in the end are the 4 teams that make it to San Francisco. The prize pool, $171,000, will be on the line. Tonight, in the beginning of Week 7, we'll have a clearer picture, even after the end of tonight's matches, of who's actually going to make it to San Francisco. The top 2 teams out of group play will be seeded. The other 2 have to make their way through playoffs.
Yeah, those 2 teams currently are Simp and the Cunningham. Simp almost untouchable, almost. And the Cunningham's trying to keep up, one of the only teams that could even hope to touch them.
Let's take a look at last night's scores from Thursday night. RBIS versus Timed Out, and a tiebreaker victory once again for the Brazilian team. They get the win. Simp versus the Cunninghams. Simp bouncing back with a vengeance, you could say, against the Cunninghams after that loss.
I mean, that was brutal to watch. And that's the match where the Cunningham Simp usually goes to the tie almost to the very end, back and forth. But no, Simp just whomped their opponent.
Yeah. Roulette versus I Love Lamp, a loss for Roulette as they are coming back from their tournament in China. And Elevate versus Simple Tankers. Simple Tankers looked phenomenal once again. A lot better, a lot of improvement compared to towards the end of the beginning of the season, where they were having trouble getting into the brawls, taking too much damage, trying to get into the engagements. Not the case from last week, and hopefully not the case for them this week.
No, Simple Tankers, as opposed to their last season even, has really improved. One of the most improved teams, I think.
Let's take a look at the matches that were not broadcast on Thursday night to give you the updated scores. Top Tier took down Penguin Mafia 5-1. Hammer Time destroyed Noble 5-1. In the matchup of Simply Irresistible and Victoria's Secret, another victory for Simply Irresistible, which is very key here to see their continual rise in the Gold League. And then Fun Gaming versus Full Potato, which is the most surprising score probably out of Thursday's matches, with Full Potato getting a 5-0 victory. Fun Gaming, the same Fun Gaming team that went 5-1 against Hammer Time earlier in the season.
Yeah, Fun Gaming just didn't play up to the level that Full Potato was bringing. Full Potato, of course, did play a solid game that day, but it was certainly a little bit worrying to see Fun Gaming play like that.
Well, hopefully they're able to bounce back, because if they can't, then Fun Gaming is going to have a tough time even making it into the playoffs based on the other performances of these teams rising from the bottom. Let's take a look at one of the matches from Thursday night. That was RBIS versus Timed Out.
Now, RBIS has been on a bit of a losing streak, but Timed Out is on the rise, and with that, they just played better than Arbis. Arbis also allowed for a huge mistake, which was Ruinberg, a map that I think we can all agree Timed Out has practiced quite a bit, and I think even the Cunninghams talked about how well they played on that map. Now, when it comes to Ruinberg, the defense, Timed Out brings a heavier lineup than most of their opponents, and every single time it seems like Simp, Arbis, they bring a lighter lineup, and they cannot compete once Timed Out closes the distance.
Ruinberg is definitely the map for them. We'll see if they choose it for the first matchup tonight. The next series we want to take a look at a little bit more in depth is Simp versus the Cunninghams, and the immaculate performance of Crimson Corsair in that GW Panther on steps was truly a sight to behold.
It really was. He was on his game, and so was everyone else on Simp. Not a single mistake from the Cunninghams was let go. Every single time they overstepped, they got just punched in the face. Every single time there was the opportunity to even embarrass them, in a way it seems, just outplay, didn't even let Conflict get a little kill. It wouldn't have made a difference. They still would have won, but still, they worked as hard as they could at every single moment in that battle, even when it was won.
And even the small things, the small windows of opportunity, the very small movements coming from Simp on steps, using that Eastern Valley, the up and the down approach, just even 12 feet really to work with, and still utilizing positions that enables them to have such a devastating force against their opponents. It's great to see, but we have to continue to look for the teams that'll challenge Simp. Timed Out did it once, and that was a team at the bottom of the standings, so there's really no excuse for everybody else, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to be able to challenge Simple. It's really, we'll have to see.
Our next matchup we want to take a look at is Roulette versus I Love Lamp. I Love Lamp joining us, as we've mentioned many times this season, for the first time from the Silver League. Roulette are season champions. Well, the remnants of our season champions from Season 4, formerly #RU, coming back from that series again in China. getting acclimated to, you know, the American forces once again. They had the lead, but then I Love Lamp started to turn it around, especially here on Cliff.
Yeah, they just were so aggressive at times. They waited for the right moment. Roulette would try to play the closer to a foreign style, similar to the Russian and EU League at times, and they weren't able to respond to the more American, just in-your-face aggression quite as well.
Yeah. The last series we want to take a look at is Elevate versus Simple Tankers, and I loved this drive led by Jay Smooth from Simple Tankers on the western side, moving towards the north on Prohorovka. Elevate had no idea how to respond to this, and Jay Smooth sees his target, pushes up, and the rest of his team's behind him.
And it was a perfect example of the kind of support fire you want on Prohorovka. They brought much of that same aggression when they transitioned to steps, where they found the weakness, exploited it, and Elevate was unable to compete with the level of aggression that Simple Tankers was able to bring. Both teams playing a very similar style, but Simple Tankers being the more experienced, I think knew how to play against it as well.
And knowing how to play against those styles that's chosen, the indications could be right in the very beginning with the tank selection, but after that, the opening movements, the first 2 minutes are so crucial, and you'll see these veteran teams really utilize those first 2 minutes and gather that information, or going for the blitz.
Yeah, it's a little either or. It's a lot of situational stuff. These teams, especially the very experienced ones, know more often than not exactly what to do.
And each of these teams bring different tactics to the table. Zombie Food got to sit down with Randall for a little bit, take a look at some tactics. Let's check it out.
Greetings, welcome. I'm Randall Rukill Holcomb. This is Zombie Food from Noble Esports, and he's here to explain hull down tactics, something which many pros consider basic, but can be a little bit more complex than that.
Yeah, so the concept of hull down is you basically hiding your hull from the enemy tanks. Enemy tanks fire, anything that would try to hurt you.
I know you have an example. I know you brought a Pershing battle on Cliff.
Yes.
And what about this makes a great example for hull down tactics?
So in this example that you're about to see, I used the Pershing in a very iconic part of Cliff, where there's a nice little slope in the center. You can take shots at tanks climbing up the ridge in order to get to their safe spots, but before they can, I can take shots on them. While doing that though, I get a little lazy, and you'll see in a moment.
Well, you did get a shot by a Panther, but because you're in hull down, it doesn't
Yes.
appear as though it did anything to you.
Yes, I'll just lose a module or two. I won't really lose any hit points, which is really nice about hull down. And I basically am getting damage for free without taking any myself.
So for people moving up in the tech tree, looking for maybe some tanks that are optimal for hull down, what would you recommend?
If you're climbing the tech tree, I would recommend some of the Sherman tanks like the M4 or the M4E2 or the M4E8, or even the American heavies, the T29 or the T32. These are all acceptable or amazing tanks at hull down.
Well, thank you, Zombie Food, for explaining hull down tactics to us. It's been a pleasure.
You too, Randall.
I hope you all learned something out there about hull down tactics. We'll see you on the battlefield.
I'm going to have to agree with Zombie Food. Those are great tanks to start out. That's how I started out down the American line. The M4 Sherman, using the 105, some of the most fun I've ever had in World of Tanks. And my enemies, they didn't really enjoy that as much.
No. Especially with the way that gun used to be. Now it's been brought a little bit more into balance, but it used to just, oh my gosh, they used to be such a troll cannon.
Very powerful gun. Still a great tank to play. And also seeing the Fury tank that was used for one of those EZ8s was a lot of fun as well over this summer. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first matchup tonight. It's going to be Fun Gaming versus Timed Out. Fun Gaming is currently tied in 9th place with RBIS. They had a 5-0 loss against Full Potato on Thursday, and then a 5-1 loss against I Love Lap on the previous Tuesday. But this is still the same Fun Gaming, as I mentioned before, that defeated Hammer Time 5-1. What's happened to Fun Gaming?
That's really hard to pinpoint. They've played well. They have good tactics. It's that something about their coordination or maybe their ability to read their opponents is starting to fail.
Or perhaps they're having some roster issues, people maybe not showing up, they had to play some bench players. I'm not for certain either, and I'm going to have to ask them in the face-off of what's been happening to their team. Timed Out, the exact opposite. What changed for them that has gone from no wins whatsoever to 3 tiebreaker wins in a row?
I think it was some changes with battle callers, with the dedication of some members on the team, putting more time into preparing for their matches as opposed to putting more time into maybe practicing their individual skills?
Possibly, and they're getting more acclimated to the Gold League. Let's move on and talk about RBIS versus the Cunninghams. RBIS was once in third place. They finished in third place in Season 4. They were once in third place about halfway through the season. Now they have been knocked down to 9th place, tied with Fun Gaming. Now, this tiebreaker loss against Timed Out, and before that against Full Potato, they had another tiebreaker loss. RBIS kind of facing the same thing, you would say, as Fun Gaming? Something's going wrong?
Well, Arbis is just on a losing streak right now. If they can't break this, if they can't get themselves shaken from this real rut that they've gotten themselves into, I don't know if they're going to be able to recover and even make it into the playoffs. They might fall to 11, 12, 13. If they don't win any more matches this season, that gives the opportunities for teams like Victoria's Secret and Timed Out or Roulette, Noble Gaming, and Top Tier to overtake them and kick them out of their potential for the playoffs.
Cunningham still in second place, still looking great. Tough time against Simp last time, but in a great running to bypass the playoffs and make it to the finals. They need another win tonight, though, to maintain their position. Next series, Elevate versus Simply Irresistible. Elevate is part of that 6th place tie with I Love Lamp and Simply Irresistible. They lost their match against Simple Tankers 5-2, but they did have a victory over Penguin Mafia last week. And this is that really kind of tight spot for these teams. These 3 teams, 2 of them now going up against each other to find out who's going to move away from 6th place and who's going to fall down from 6th place.
Most of these teams, though, I Love Lamp, Simply Irresistible, and Elevate, at least have a good chance of staying in the playoffs. Good performance, even if they make half the points that they're expected to, they should at least end it in 10th. So they're relatively safe, but they have to pay attention and not let someone else overtake them.
Of course. And that's what all these teams are looking at in Week 7 here. There's only 2 more weeks left, this week and next week, and that's the end of regular group play. The last series tonight will be Simp versus I Love Lamp. Now, Simp is no longer undefeated, but Simp bounced back against their loss from Timed Out and steamrolled Cunningham's 5-0. It was a lot of fun to watch, especially for the GW Panther, but I'm sure for the Cunninghams, it was not a lot of fun to play. They're in first place. They have 8 points over the Cunninghams, so I think they're going to stay in first place probably the rest of the season, Randall. That's probably the safest bet.
It's very reasonable. For the Cunninghams to be able to overtake Simp, it would have to be Cunninghams winning every single one of their matches and Simp getting probably incredibly
horrible. 1 or 2 tiebreaker losses and then the rest losses.
No, it would actually have to be 2 tiebreaker wins, 2 tiebreaker losses, and that would put them 1 point behind the Cunninghams.
Okay.
So even if they were to manage to just get a bunch of tiebreakers, it's still difficult for the Cunninghams to overtake them.
Now, I Love Lamp tonight in that 6th place tie right now. It's another big match for them. And even if they can't overcome Simp, if they can get at least 3 battles off Simp, that's a good measurement of how well this team is doing this season, and they're definitely going to make it to the playoffs. I'm looking forward to all these matches, but especially to find out what's going to happen at the end of this 3-way 6th place tie and how we may have a couple more 3-way ties in the future. But that's why we have these days, these match days, to figure out who's going to be our best 4 teams to make it to San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
It's going to be close. It's going to stay close, I think, for the next few days. We'll find new ties, new crazy little storylines that'll start emerging as time goes on. It's always exciting.
It definitely is, and it's going to be a great series between Fun Gaming and Timed Out. Our first match of the night after this. Stay tuned.
Привет, I'm Soda.
Hey there, I'm Zombie Food.
Yo, I'm Rummy.
Hey guys, I'm E6.
Hello there, I'm Fat Girl.
Hi guys, I'm Unnommable.
Baby, I was born this way. Oh hey, I'm Laps. Welcome to the WGLNA.
That happens every time. Laps is always listening to music when we ask him a question. But on tonight's face-off, I'm sure he's going to have another little surprise for us as we get ready for the first matchup tonight of Fun Gaming versus Timed Out. As a reminder, please follow us on Twitter at WGLNA, Facebook.com/WGLNA, and make sure to use that hashtag on your tweets so we can find them and put them up on the broadcast.
And don't forget, of course, today's question of the day. What team is the most improved team this season, and how so? How did they accomplish this? What did you notice? Please tweet us at WGLNA, and don't forget the hashtag WGLNA. And Josh, do you have a most improved team?
Not yet. A lot of my teams that are in my radar, this is their first experience in the Gold League, but I think Simple Tankers could definitely classify as one of those teams improving.
I certainly agree, especially contrasting that with last season. Timed Out, I'm holding back on judgment whether or not they're the most improved if we see them maintain this level of performance we've seen the past few weeks.
Let's go ahead and check in with Timed Out and Fun Gaming in the face-off. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi, haven't seen you in a while.
I know, Shedamon. First off, talking about your team so far in this season, doing very well at the beginning, then having some trouble right now in the last number of matches. What's going on with your team? Have there been any changes, or have you made changes in order to improve?
Yeah, sure, we did changes to improve, and talking about the last two matches, we were on the third place after our win against Hammer Time. It got us really inspired and stuff, but it's like something got us, and for example, we when we played versus Full Potato. First of all, one of our players' video card has broken. He went to his parents, got their laptop. He made it like in 5 minutes before the invites were held to install the client and stuff. Second, one of our players lives in. We have a war in Ukraine, and he was like bombed, really bombed. Fortunately, he is okay. He will play tomorrow. And the third, when there was a map picking, our cap was thinking about picking Murovanka, but we ban maps, so he typed out Murovanka, and
oh, okay.
Yeah,
so a string of bad luck. So far.
Yeah, bad luck.
You're here tonight. You're up against Timed Out. Let's check in with Timed Out real quick. Raul, you're on the opposite side of the fence here. You guys are finally getting wins, even though they're tiebreaker wins. What changed for your team in order to turn things around?
Sorry, what changed or what changes?
What changed? What past participle or past tense? What changed for your team?
Yeah, it was a great achievement, right? Just beating SIP and now RBIS. So I think what changed for the team was the spirit, the spirit of winning these two great teams that we won the past days, right? The past week, the week and day. So we're just more united. We're united. We're working together. We are communicating with each other in the battles. So things are getting getting better. So we're getting results with that.
Are
more
you guys
communication?
Oh, are you guys keeping hope alive for the playoffs?
Sorry, could you repeat that, Rukil?
Sorry, I'll clarify as well. Are you guys keeping hope alive to make it to the playoffs? Because Arbus and Fun Gaming currently are 1 point behind your maximum possible points you can achieve in the remainder of this season.
Yes, we are. We're going to play today. We're gonna give like 200% more than we gave against Simp and RBIS.
All
so
right.
we're really willing to get there to the playoffs. We are really gonna try this.
Raul, any words? Any words for your opponent tonight?
Yeah, I wish you guys good luck, and let's do this. May the best win.
All right, Shedamon.
Yeah, I wish you good luck as well, and пусть победит сильнейший, let the stronger win.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Good luck. We'll see you on the battlefield. Spirits are high, definitely, for Timed Out, and the string of exceptional bad luck happening for Fun Gaming, even one of them getting hit by a bomb in a war that's going on in Ukraine.
I mean, have you seen footage from over there? I mean, it's very difficult to play video games in
I can imagine. Well, he's playing tonight, so hopefully he won't have any more bad luck from video cards to that.
I think the main point, though, for this battle, and I'm glad that Rule was able to answer that and saying I'm giving 200%, because Fun Gaming and Arbus have 17 points right now. The maximum possible points that Fun Gaming can achieve, and that means they must win, not tiebreaker win, but just win every single match remaining. They can achieve 18 points, which would put them in 9th or 10th. That would require Fun Gaming or Arbus to win no more matches the rest of this season. So right now, this is the start for that. This is where if Timed Out just beats Fun Gaming, they're that little bit closer to potentially making it. And wouldn't that be a comeback
It'd be an amazing story. It really would. And I'm sure a lot of the Brazilian teams that play World of Tanks are continuing to root for Timed Out. Make sure to place your bets, folks, right now in the chat. Badco standing by as our head moderator to help you out. You'll see the rosters on your screen for both these teams as they get ready to play the first matchup tonight. Match number 1 will take place on Himmelsdorf Going to go city side for both these teams at the beginning here. Tanks have been selected, so let's go ahead and jump into our first match, Randall. Battle number 1 between Fun Gaming and Timed Out on Himmelsdorf. What do we have for Tanks?
For Tanks, it looks like Fun Gaming, the attacking team in red, will have two 5100s, two IS-3s, a single T-32, a Waffentrager, and a T-37, going for a lineup that we've seen out of the Russian and European servers very much lately. I think they've been studying, and they're going to start adopting that strategy. On the other side, Timed Out, the blue team defending, will have three 5100s, three IS-3s, and a KV-85. Now, the KV-85 is the first time I think we'll have seen this one on the US server, but it has seen some experimentation elsewhere.
Is that a tier?
It's a tier 6.
Tier 6 tank.
Yeah, tier 6 heavy tank, and it's a part of that split between the, the KV-1S. Because it's at tier 5 and 6 was a little weird, it was split up for a little bit more balance, because without the upgrades it wasn't very strong, but with it was a little too strong for some tiers. So it got a little rebalance, and now at tier 6, it's an okay choice, I think, but I'm still gonna remain skeptical until I see it perform well.
Yeah, that's one of the choices that teams will make, of bringing that extra tier 8, so you bring the tier 6 or the 2 tier 7s. And Gandorfo, along with Timed Out, have left that northwestern position, which has been a staple of teams, the standard position for the defenders, and they've headed closer over to the hillside. And Gandorfo is able to see Nismoon. Nismoon fires for a missed shot, and Gandorfo will fall back a little bit, knowing at least one tank is up there on the hill. And Timed Out's looking for the rest of Fun Gaming as they approach through the crossroads.
Yeah, Go PvP and Dantis down below could be caught out if Timed Out recognizes the potential weaknesses of the current position Fun Gaming has. Now, if Go PvP and Dantis get too aggressive, they could find themselves caught out because of that. And this is actually a perfect time if Timed Out were to discover that. Right now, you see tanks in transition, but there's no real indication of where Go PvP and Dantist are. We'll have to see if Fun Gaming's going to decide on a route, though, that walks them into that same trap that we saw, I believe it was Arbis walk into.
Yes.
And get torn apart. But
yes, Arbis was too divided. Those KV-5s were focusing on one IS-3, which was great for them, but then Timed Out recognized, hey, if we got 2 against 1 in the north, we have an overmatch in the south, so they went for it. And got the victory here. Fun Gaming very spread out, but now starting to move into the same position across the north and south side of the crossroads, or the courtyard in the center.
Oh, and look at Go PvP. I think he might... No, he's not. He moves away just in time, but Uvad's going to start taking a little bit of damage, and that's from Facepalm.
Yeah, that had to be the smaller tank, the tier 6 tank that got the shock. It's about 124 damage that was dealt.
And now you see spotting going from north to south along the 5 line, which is odd. Usually not the place we see a lot of those engagements, at least not in this style, as Go PvP is attempting to return fire against Raul, who has taken a little damage and is forced to back off.
284, now he's going to head back around that corner. Enrique and Nip are in position to cover him. Timed Out doesn't have to move from this section. As the defending team, they can stay and guard the flag cap. It's up to Fun Gaming to break this defense in more and more unique ways. We keep seeing teams try to do something different, not just as the attackers, but also as the defenders.
And there's Dantis moving up the 3 line, is going to take some fire from BR Game Over and Matt Knight. 2 IS-3s who've gone to the east, stayed in that area, and looked for some flank fire. They're going to get a little bit out of it, and that's going to hurt Fun Gaming just a little, but not enough for anything significant. Now, Facepalm is taking fire for 309, and it looks like Nismoon has moved up in the T-32 to a nice hold-down position, which is going to cut off the west side. But in the meantime, Dantist has taken a little bit more fire, trying to return on Game Over. There was one connection, and Matt Knight now firing in, but that's going to be the cap. And as you can see from the minimap right now, control of Fun Gaming on the west side, they really are outplaying the control on that side of the map, but they are losing the hit point.
It's definitely staggering, but that's where they're starting to fall apart. Danist is about 1 high roll away from falling down here. Uvu takes a hit for 231 as he pushes forward. He returns fire, but this time for the tanks further in the back for a shot. And 2 more shots from Gandorfo and Nip. One of them connects, and there's a beautiful hit against Snow. So Gandorfo and Nip are continuing to put pressure on that west side, but they're allowing the rest of their team in the center to move up slowly against GoPvP and Dantist.
And now you actually have Raul, Henrique, Dante moving on GoPvP. Game over slightly to the south, keeping him out. And there, just as Dantist moves out, nice move by Raul to pick up the kill and get the gun out of the game. Now with an overmatch on GoPvP, they should be able to finish him off. And that will mean control along the D-line, splitting apart Fun Gaming as they also take down Yarick.
That shot against Yarick was nice from Nip and Gandorfo, but Nismoon is continuing to hold in this spot. Fun Gaming knows it. They know that Nismoon could try to hold as long as he can. Snow tries to fire. That one does not connect. But Gandorfo gets lit up, and he is about one shot away from falling down. And that 5100 going down on the reload, not the best thing right now for Timed Out. Mad Knight's pushing up. They get a reset again, and now they're facing the final tank still left alive for Fun Gaming. Only one tank has actually gone down for Timed Out.
Oh wow, it's Snow taking 450 is alive at 7 hit points, while Facepalm is also not anymore. Never mind. Both tanks at low health go down in an instant, and Nismoon is the only one left.
And he hasn't even taken any damage. Completely bypassed the T-32 and went for the weaker tanks, the tanks in a more open positions. And now Timed Out has one tank remaining to destroy with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Nismoon fires back and takes down Nip 100. But Timed Out pretty much has this in the bag, as Henrique Dante is going to be reloaded very soon and behind Nismoon.
Yeah, with that game over coming up to support in the IS-3 Raul, there's not enough tanks to engage. Just not enough. That's a cool little maneuver right there, but game over might go down. This a few more moments of Nismoon fighting honorably.
Yeah, it's mostly the moments of the 5100s finishing their reload, which they do. Henrique Dante gets the kill. And Timed Out takes the first victory as the defenders on Himmelsdorf between them and Fun Gaming. I really liked the opening coming from both teams. Not over-aggressive, but more of a stacked type of presence on the hill. But then Fun Gaming had the defenses down.
Yeah, both teams had to improvise in the situation. Neither of their strategies getting the gains that they were looking for or controlling the areas that they were quite expected to. I think Nismoon as the T-32 was the only tank that ended in an ideal situation for Fun Gaming, and that's why Nismoon was able to live so long. Timed Out, though, did, I think, flex very well with the positions we saw. They adjusted, found the weak points of Fun Gaming's positions and exploited them as quickly as possible, and in just timely enough fashion to stop the cap as well.
Timely enough fashion, sure, but can they do it again? This is always after the first battle. Okay, you're defending, we're attacking, we went for something a little bit crazy or a little bit standard. It's always the first battle, it's not necessarily a wash, but I always look more towards how the attackers handle it compared to the defenders. So with Fun Gaming, they have to figure out how to break through the defense of Timed Out in this corner.
I think it's going to be about trying to coax Timed Out out of their defensive positions, because Timed Out's a team that's very willing to meet you and then begin some kind of a fight or a brawl. If you can kind of work with that and understand the mentality of your opponent in this situation, you can exploit it. It's much more delicate than simply saying, let's put a treat out there and then hope that they bite, because you might not have anything that's worth putting out there or that's going to stay alive long enough for you to get them to really chomp down.
Well, that bait, I don't think Timed Out would take it, especially what's at stake. If this was their first matchup and their first team in the Gold League, possibly. But I'm a little bit overly concerned that Timed Out's going to play this incredibly conservative because they know it's at stake. I know Raul said they're going to put it in 200%. That's fantastic. I don't doubt that they will. But where is that 200% going to go? Is it more in the aggression? Is it more in the focus fire? Or is it more in playing patiently and tactfully and quickly and smartly against these attacks?
Maybe it's more than just that. It's preparation, practice, motivation. Having a team that has the kind of motivation I thought Raul sounded like he had. If the entire team is like that, as long as they are kept under control by their captain, I think that gives them a boost. They understand what's behind them, and of course it's much easier to play when you're motivated.
And I'm sure they know each other as a team a lot better compared to the beginning of the season because they've played more matches together, and there is no replacement for time. Battle number 2 between Fun Gaming and Timed Out is about to begin. Randall, what do we have for tanks?
All right, so it looks like Fun Gaming is going to switch it up slightly. Little alteration here. They still have the 5100s, the 2 IS-3s, the Waffentrager, but instead of bringing the smaller KV they're going to go for an IS and a T-29. The T-29, played by Nizmoon, is just a down-tiered T-32, and the IS being that up-tiered tank. They're trying to even out that performance and make every tank on their field worth it. On the other side, Timed Out is bringing much of the same, just KV-3 and an IS now.
And the opening placement coming from Timed Out, a little bit spread out towards the center for that scouting information. And Fun Gaming slowly moving up the Tank Alley section of the map, while 3 tanks have taken the hillside.
It looks like that Snow, Yarick, and Inside, so 5100s and the Waffentrager, the softer tanks that still move well, but you don't want to have them caught out in a fight. Whereas everything that's bigger and heavier looks like it's going to be just staying down below. Now, at the same time, Timed Out looks to be going for the standard defense. Nothing crazy here. However, Raul, if you'll pay attention to his position, is rather exposed. Timed Out can respond to any aggression against him, but there are still angles, approaches that can catch him out and allow for Fun Gaming to deal damage without any real response from Timed Out. Now, he is going to start taking fire from the hill, and given enough time, these shells are going to start to connect easier and easier. But it is wasting a lot of Fun Gaming's time.
And that's great for Timed Out because the defenders want to have that time advantage. They want that time to tick away. Raul gets hit twice, 3 times. One shot coming from Snow does not connect. Another big bounce off the IS-3. And there's the reply from Raul. He's under considerable duress here.
And he's almost down. He has but 12 hit points left, and the return fire is just now coming in. We've got Nip moving up as well. We've got Henrique Dante, game over, off in the back, trying to fire back at the hill, and there's no big connections except onto Yarick. Now Nip is taking damage as well. This is going into the favor of Fun Gaming already. This is working out in their favor as they would like it to. And as the 5100s are on reload, they're going to head down the 0 line and get on the flank just in time to unload on whatever rear tanks from Timed Out are left behind.
And there's plenty of time from Timed Out, or there's plenty of time for Fun Gaming to continue the attack. For Timed Out, there's too much time on the board right now, especially with how low Raul is. It's almost a tank completely out of the fight here.
And now Henrique Dante is firing into Go PvP, who's completely exposed, has no real fire, and this could be a tank going down in favor of Timed Out, and that would be the first kill of the battle.
This is a beautiful job by Henrique by getting behind the enemy, and Matt Knight's going to help out. And a great job by Matt Knight to swing around and get the final kill, allowing Henrique Dante to either 1, save his shot, or 2, stay alive longer, to not take another hit from that one tank.
And real quick, Inside, along with Yarick, moving into the 8 line to rejoin their team, do take a little fire. Inside is down to half health in his 5100, Facepalm taking hits as well, and Snow is left on the hill. If we were to see Timed Out push in, they would be able to cut that Waffentrager out of the fight for a period of time and get some kind of a lead in this battle.
Henrique Dante recognizes Facepalm's position, but however, he's going to expose himself unnecessarily, Henrique Dante. You're not loaded yet. You're not going to do any damage.
Oh, and Matt Knight is left at 27. There's a lot of tanks left at just minimal HP in this battle.
And Matt Knight falls, Fun Gaming continuing to push, but Nismoom goes down from Henrique Dante, who is loaded, and he's in a beautiful spot to clean up what's left of Fun Gaming here in the center. Game Over is going to push up against Danis. Yarick fires back towards Henrique, and he's able to get the kill. Game Over is not loaded yet. Uvu takes down Yarick, and Danis with very low health continues to hold, fires into BR. Game Over, and BR bounces a shot. Gandorfo goes down from Snow, and it's still back and forth between Timed Out and Fun Gaming. Fun Gaming has a slight advantage with HP right now.
And now Inside moves in with Snow and begins firing back at Nip, forcing him back. Now Uvad takes Inside's last shell just in time. Snow may get the shot, and he does, getting the kill on Uvad. That KV-3 is out of the fight.
BR Game Over took way too many shells from the enemy IS-3 hiding behind one of the dead tanks. Now, unfortunately for him, he's so low he can't push up in the fight. But Timed Out, again as the defenders, can wait for Fun Gaming to come to them with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. BR Game Over knows Snow's position, but he also knows that if Snow connects his shot, BR Game Over is done. Snow looks, fires, and it is absorbed. BR Game Over fires back, and Snow goes down. 2 tanks remain for Fun Gaming. 3 still on the board for Timed Out.
And now Facepalm is all the way to the south in an IS. He can deal with Game Over, Nip, or Raul if he finds them, but it's more difficult than is than if he were, for example, maybe an IS-3. He has 820 hit points. He can take a few hits. And Inside does have a 690 hit points, which is just enough to take 2 shells. But now he crosses in front of Raul, and Raul does not make that connection. He's out in the open. He does not continue forward. But to his rear, Nip has the shots.
And a missed shot from Inside against Raul. Raul does go down. Inside dodging one shot. BR Game Over waiting for the reload. He knows Inside's around the corner.
But Facepalm from the flank will have a rear shot on BR Game Over.
BR, you've got to fire. He gets it. Face off. Facepalm hits from behind. And BR Game Over has to move from his position. Nip 100, however, one shot away from going down, can plug a couple shells into Facepalm. Misses one.
It hits right on the IS gun. That
hits, but Facepalm turns the corner and gets the kill.
An unfortunate shot right there. He tries to go for it, doesn't realize what's in the way, doesn't realize the Rex gun.
It's a 1v1. BR Game Over has got to get out of here. With 48 seconds left, he has to evade Facepalm as best as he can. And if he does so, Timed Out will get another victory. Facepalm, on the other hand, has to cut corners, find out, anticipate, predict where BR Game Over will go. With 35 seconds left, Facepalm has got to find where he is around one of these corners and be true with his aim for a shot. He needs a penetrating shot against BR Game Over. Facepalm's turning the corner. BR Game Over's now, he's put himself in the parking lot.
Yeah, in the garage, really.
In the garage section of the parking lot.
And
And Facepalm can see him and one-shot him here. Facepalm's going to move closer. Game Over still in that corner. 8 seconds left. Facepalm sees it. BR Game Over fires back, but Facepalm gets the shot with 2 seconds remaining, and they get the victory.
That was Nerves of Steel right there, knowing not to waste your shell. You can absorb the hit. He can get that high roll that could kill you, but chances are he's going to roll something closer to average and you're going to stay alive.
This is a great play for Fun Gaming. Timed Out. Unfortunately, he knew he was coming for him. He knew he was coming for him. And Nip 100 right here, this shot, that's what killed him. That's what killed him right there. I mean, he's able to still get one more hit against Facepalm, but it's not enough.
No. Yeah, and now Fun Gaming's going to call a timeout off of this win. They have to catch their breath, I think, because that is a tense situation, knowing hold your shot, IS, let it settle. This is an IS-3 with gold shells. You can pen the front easy enough. You just have to pay attention to where he's angling his armor, because one little second of inattentiveness to where he's angling that Shuka,
That's all it takes.
and that's all it takes. You're going to bounce, and that's where you lose.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of patient play with about 10 seconds window. About 10-second window right there for the IS-3 to make that play. Now the tables will turn with Timed Out on the attack and Fun Gaming on the defense. This is where I think we'll see the true nature of these teams for the rest of the series.
Yeah, it's Fun Gaming, a team that knows how to defend well, defending in a more traditional, I expect.
Very
stretch.
traditional, yeah.
And taking some pages from the EU League and the Russian League, who are playing exceptionally now, and their meta is evolving in different ways. They're bringing T-32s back to Himmelsdorf, for example, which I think can be kind of cool. I know you might be in favor of T-32s on Himmelsdorf.
I would rather have an IS-3.
Really?
And, well, I
what
mean,
about all those hold-down positions? The T-32s actually work there.
It's because of its speed, honestly. It cannot get up and go as fast as an IS-3 can. And as much as I love the T-32, in this scenario, just as what we just saw, I'd rather have an IS-3 compared to a T-32, because that IS-3 can find him. It can find another IS-3. It can stay within the same quadrant of speed necessary to be able to land your shot. Yeah. T-32, if he's far away, he's never going to catch up.
Yeah, an IS-3 can outrun him, or a 5100 can outrun him. Maybe, yeah, I guess you're right with that. You want to keep up speed a little bit, but with Himmelsdorf, the corridors, one T-32 couldn't hurt.
Well, I mean, the corridors are fantastic, but to me, a T-32 is that hold-down position to scan the battlefield, to have control over a wide berth of the tank's location. Himmelsdorf, you don't have that because it's straight-up corridors. Now, if you want to use a T-32 to completely block a section, sure, but you can do the same thing with an IS-3.
Fair enough. I'll take that one, but we'll have to continue this one later.
All right. Battle number 3 between Fun Gaming and Timed Out is about to begin after Timed Out Fun Gaming had their timeout. And let's go ahead and check out what tanks they're bringing, Randall.
All right, so Fun Gaming, now on the defense, the red team, has 2 5100s, 3 IS-3s, a single T-32, by the way, and a KV-2, played by Facepalm. Now, on the other side, Timed Out is going to bring something they've brought before, which is their 25100 single IS-3 with 2 KV-5s and 2 IS. So that is a 10K build. And by 10K build, I mean there are 10,000 hit points in that team, which is just a little bit over what we usually see. Most teams don't usually break into that 5-digit health pool.
And the major difference is about 300 hit points. That's a high roll for an IS-3. It's staying alive for 1 shot longer for, you know, using the KV-5s.
And or a 5100 shell.
True.
Right there. And 5100s are the one tank I feel that is hurt the most when fighting KV-5s, because the armor at some points is so tricky and deceptive. It seems like it's flat and it should be easy to pen, but it's angled just a little bit to the point where your shell deflects. And as a 5100, when you think you have that penning shot and you don't, it just stings a little bit, you know? It's like, oh, I should have had that.
Well, especially with what's on the line for a 5100 for every missed shot. It's a great point. The two 5100s coming from Timed Out that are on the western side have not peeked around the corner yet, but they are doing a little bit of coverage for any of those tanks that could have traveled south from Fun Gaming, as Timed Out will cross 3 of their tankers through the courtyard, and Matt Knight in the KV-5 will be bringing in the eastern flank coming from Tank Alley. No shots have landed for either team yet, but a couple blind shots have come out from Fun Gaming on the west side. There's a shot from Raul towards Nismoon, and Snow does not connect as Gandorfo will head up the middle section.
Oh, wow. This angle, I really need to show everyone this one, because this is just one of those things that you find out about this map, and that is just the angle that you can see BR game over through this building. And that is the thinnest, tiniest little angle right over the gun that it's you can barely see it unless you are in his first person view, but it is centimeters wide. And that's what he's getting a shell through to connect with Raul.
Gandorfo is the closest one to the flag cap. He is spotted, but he cannot spot anybody else, trying to proxy spot by moving his tank as close as he can to the cover. Danis is the one that can see him. While Fun Gaming has 4 tanks parked right down the edge of this corridor, Yarek, Facepalm, and the rest of their teammates are waiting for any of those tanks to cross in the section. If one of those tanks does so, it most likely will be the KV-5s charging out first, and Fun Gaming may know to hold their shots until the 5100s start crossing in order to fire.
Yes, yes. And now, while we have just a moment before these teams will be beginning the engagement, we've got Hammer Time 2-0 against Victoria's Secret in the offline match right now.
We'll keep you updated as soon as those scores continue to generate for those two teams. Yep. Currently tied 1-1 here between Timed Out and Fun Gaming.
And we're seconds away, just seconds from these teams crossing. Uvad in the north, I think, is the big indicator, and he will come across the A line just as Gandorfo, Matt Knight, and Enrique Dante all cross. Gandorfo is tracked, taking 188, but Enrique Dante almost down.
Yep, that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the 5100, and they got it. Nice play by Fun Gaming. The amount of damage now cut away from Timed Out as they turn this corner. Gandorfo is the next tank that's being targeted because of its profile. Him and Matt Knight trying to absorb a lot of that damage, but game over. Firing back along with Uvud, as Uvud's going to turn around the corner. And not much left.
Dantis goes for Gandorfo, and he does not connect. You got Uvud blocking for him, getting in the way. Gandorfo's going to stay alive just a little longer, so will Matt Knight. They cannot deal with Dantis in enough time, but in the south, you're going to see 5100s moving in. That is Nip, along with Raul, onto Snow. If they can finish him off, that could be an opening in the rear. Not a lot of chances for Timed Out to come back, as they are in a huge deficit, but Raul, if he gets this kill on Snow, that 1v1 goes to Timed Out. That's where it can happen. But if Fun Gaming holds this, if Snow comes out ahead and Yarek is able to support, this could be a very different game.
There goes Matt Knight, the KV-5. That moving wall is down. Uvud and BR game over, close to the flag cap. Uvud has put himself on the flag cap, forcing Danis to push up, and it could be a free shot for BR game over, who falls back. Uvud fires towards Danis, and there goes Snow. Raul gets a kill against Snow, and Danis gets hit for 407.
Yeah, Raul is actually managing to stay alive a little longer than he should. Yarek has to waste 4 shells in order to help with that engagement, which is an opportunity, maybe a missed opportunity for Timed Out, as Nip is just now getting reloaded. Uvad and Game Over in the north have no more support, no more battle buddies with them.
Nip 100 is the only one that can help them out, and he's looping very far and wide to get behind the enemy. and he sees Yarick, and he's getting 2 shots, but Yarick fights back, and only 1 tank remains. 4 timed out as Game Over is going to turn the corner. Game Over hit to the front, another one to the side from inside, and Danis could be the final shot. He's going to push up against Game Over, and he's going to fire from a distance. It'll be Facepalm instead of Dantist, and Fun Gaming takes the victory and the lead in Battle 3 here.
Yeah, I think it's a cool strat from Timed Out, sorry, but it's
totally predictable. You and I could both see it. As soon as the 5100 crosses, that's who you fire against. The KV5s are going to be first, so they land 1 hit against Gandorfo, kind of like to even bait out, timed out, going, oh, they're going to focus me, go guys. Not the case. If they really want to do this well, Gandorfo, and you talked about the track, right? So the track happened, and that was a bummer. If you didn't get tracked, that maybe the KV5s would have been able to just be the cover for 5100 to get there.
That's the purpose of them, but we had the 5100 Henrique Dante move out and away from those KV5s.
Yeah.
He's supposed to stay behind them, but when he leaves their safety, the cover and safety of a KV5, moving across the open like that, to screen for him as a softer target, you lose the whole purpose of that maneuver. That whole maneuver is meant to put a 5100 north of the cap safely without taking any damage, but with that failing, everything falls apart as the one little maneuver that is the most complicated for timed out in that strategy.
But what happens once you get the 5100 over there? Obviously, you can do damage and you have a little bit of map control. But do the KV5s take too much damage? They just lose the benefit that they had to bring those tanks in the first place by executing this move.
You may be right, because they're so slow, they take quite a bit more damage crossing than a lot of IS-3s have in the past, but I think we can give it to Fun Gaming for focus firing incredibly well in that battle.
Yes, very, very well done by Fun Gaming. I'll get into that a little bit more, though, trying to make my point. As we get into battle number 4 of Fun Gaming versus Timed Out on Himmelsdorf, what do we have for tanks?
Well, we have 2 5100s, 3 IS-3s, Nizmoon in the T-32 again, and Facepalm in the KV-2. On the other side, it is the exact same lineup Timed Out brought last time. Those 2 ISs, 2 KV-5s, IS-3, and the 2 5100s, which, again, 10k hit points, but you are still kind of slow, and for the most part, predictable. But Timed Out could bring something special. They could bring something a little bit different to the battlefield as far as their strategy. They could go west, which would be baffling, but you know, anything goes when you're timed out.
Well, you brought up west. Enrique Dante, NIP 100, Raul, and Uvud are heading not entirely west, but more towards that direction as they're going to move north on the 4 line. Matt Knight and BR Game Over will head north on Tank Alley.
And I guess they're looking for those blind spots. They don't want to be spotted on their approach. They don't want to be spotted going east to west. They don't want to be spotted north to south, except for maybe Matt Knight, who doesn't care because he's a KV5 and that's how they roll. But yeah, he's in position. They have control up and above the Delta line. Where Timed Out goes from here is something that should be considered heavily by that team. Are they going to continue with the same strategy as last time? Are they going to instead go for something a little bit more off color? You know, something stranger, something to catch their opponent off guard. It's really about what they're going to go. I maybe think West Side could work, but it's a very difficult problem.
Well, this KV5 scenario, to me, can work if you have a great western flank pushing at the same time. If those tanks are dedicated and firing their first shots towards those KV5s and trying to destroy the 5100, guess what they're not looking? To the south. And if that is the type of move you have to make, you've got to punish the enemy. You've got to reciprocate or return that fire that you're taking because of this move, and they were not set up for that at all.
But there's been a recent improvement that Fun Gaming is employing. They're bringing that T-32, who has a perfect angle to spot how many tanks are going to be coming around the corner in the south. He's in Charlie 3, and from there, you can already see Game Over has been spotted and has taken fire from an angle that, before the T-32 was introduced to this strategy, was something that was thought of as not possible.
Gandorfo gets hit to the front from Nismoon.
And with that Timed Out, has given away that there are 2 tanks down there. That is Gandorfo, and that is Raul, I believe. And between the 2 of them, Fun Gaming can start to adjust. They've already sent Go PvP back to watch the south. Snow, currently set up in an IS-3 position, who is a little exposed, but is just watching Nismoon's rear as opposed to watching that angle, because Nismoon has such an excellent angle on the corner that Snow will have enough time to back up. So Fun Gaming has taken the traditional Himmelsdorf defense, and now it's a little bit better.
Well, right on.
And that's why I'm worried about timed out.
I know.
I hadn't realized how much better this was. I'd learned about Nismoon's
You're starting to convince
position.
me more and more of this T-32, man.
Look at the damage. Already, he's just put in a little bit here and there. Timed out, didn't even find tanks to fire at. They're out in the open.
All right, pushing up, timed out. Matt Knight takes a hit after Gandorfo did as well. A couple missed shots coming from Fun Gaming. Raul lands a shell. And Go PvP is hit for a bit. Gandorfo and Matt Knight are hit to the side.
Now Nismoon is forced to move forward and stay exposed. Can't go for any cover as Henrique Dante and Nip are going to the south. And that's going to be a different press. This is something, that off-color thing, that curious little move, which we'll see if it works out or not, because they're going to be coming in late to the fight.
And here's the push up, and Gandorfo and Nip both take down 2 tanks for Fun Gaming. Enrique will be focused from Co-PvP, and game over. From the other side, now pushing up against Yarrick. He's taking significant damage, though. Yarrick still has 3 shells left, but that'll at least keep one of the 5100s occupied, and Yarrick's only going to have 1 more shell. He either has to reload or fall back from the fight, and BR Game Over has that information because he was going 1v1 against Yarrick, and Timed Out can use that to push up against these 2 tanks. Technically, there's only those 2 tanks in the fight, but they cannot discount Snow as well, who's in the Alpha 2 section right past the train tracks.
What's also important is while there are more tanks alive for Timed Out right now, they have far less hit points. And that is because you have Raul, Matt Knight, all sitting on 589 and 322. Nip is on 242 hit points, so a one-shot. Where you don't have that on Fun Gaming. Everyone is healthy. Every single player can take a few hits before going down. And we've got Nip out on the flank pretty much by himself. And Snow messes a shot up.
Well, no, he hits Enrique.
Oh, that was Henrique he was going for.
He hit Enrique. Nip 100 was not exposed, and Enrique was. Snow got the shot. He sees Nip, and he misses that shot, and he's tracked. This is easy game for Nip. He gets that kill, and that's going to free up the north side, except for Danis, who sees Matt Knight, and Danis now on the reload. Yarrick able to get the shot from behind, and they're starting to push up. Fun Gaming getting behind the enemy. Takes down Enrique Dante. Matt Knight 1 shot away. Danis is going to push up. He gets the kill. And only 1 tank remains. Nip 100 with 3 shells left in his 5100. He's going to make these shells count as he lands 1 shot against inside, but that's it. Fun Gaming closes the first map in a lead of 3-1 against Timed Out. The next map is going to be Cliff.
And that is, I think, a place where Timed Out's going to be a little more comfortable. Himmelsdorf, you don't have the best record for Timed Out. Actually, you don't have really a great record at all for anyone on the attack. Defense, on the other hand, is getting better and better. And now it's got an improvement to it, which teams aren't going to be able to solve so easily. Fun Gaming had to work for this defense, more so than many other times in the past, but Timed Out still brought a dangerous strategy to this, and it almost worked. Just a few little things here and there, and we would have seen perhaps success. I think it was timing. 5100s in from the south a little sooner and a little quicker might have been able to sway things a little bit the other way. Just a little bit, and that's all you need to get the momentum in that fight.
Yeah, the momentum shift on Himmelsdorf is really the biggest struggle between which, both the teams that are on it. How do they shift the momentum into their favor? And driving home a little bit more the point I was making is you have to punish flanks that are open. How do you create open flanks? By distracting the enemy to look somewhere else. And that is what Fun Gaming was able to do towards the end of that last battle, was get behind the enemy, get into a position where they were free to fire continuously. And that was because Danis was drawing a lot of their fire to the north.
But I think that's Timed Out not watching their rear.
Yeah.
And not recognizing there are 2 tanks which are missing. Where are they? And they did not prepare for that, and then they got punished for it.
Yeah, the communication is very key for Timed Out as they are down 1-3 heading into Cliff against Fun Gaming in battle number 5. Randall, what do we have for tanks?
We have a 1390, 2 RU-251s, 2, not 1 T-54 lightweights for Fun Gaming, a T-20, and an M41 Walker Bulldog. This is a lineup I have not seen before, and I'm not surprised that Fun Gaming is bringing it. It may be an imitation of something that I missed from the EU or Russian League. Timed Out on the other side is bringing a lineup which I am doubtful at, perching T69 with a 1390 and RU251. Okay, a little bit slow. And then 2 T49s, which is maybe one too many, and a T37. So how they plan to execute is a little bit of a mystery to me. Looks like it'll be towards the middle, but with the T69 and perching, they could be caught out by the faster lineup of Fun Gaming, who, with the T54s, have been working out better than other light tanks as a counter to the T49s, whose shells have a little bit more trouble getting as high damage rolls.
And here's the up and over coming from Timed Out and Fun Gaming, and they see Snow. They land one shot. Uvu misses one.
Dantis is very exposed.
Ho! Ho! T49 shows their colors as Dantis is hit hard.
But now that's firepower gone from Timed Out for a short time. This could be where we see Fun Gaming start to press up and really put the pressure onto Timed Out. If they can get someone down or catch someone out, that could be where Fun Gaming can get momentum and start to win in this one. But they have to worry about the burst tanks, Gandorfo and Raul.
And they have to worry about Go PvP, but Fun Gaming starting to charge up. Facepalm is the first to fall. Snow and Dantis are low, but they're staying away from the fight. As Nismoon and Insight continue to push up, Yarick goes down. PR Game Over is ready to land one more shot. Can he get it against Nismoon? No, he fires against Inside. And Matt Knight gets the kill against Nismoon. He is low on hit points, though. Go PvP far away. Snow gets hit, he goes down. Inside gets hit, he goes down. And Go PvP and Dantis are the last two tanks remaining for Fun Gaming.
Go PvP, way out on the flank, is sniping in, but is now in reload. Did not bring the consistent fire gun, and because of that, couldn't keep that fire up, but was able to help early on. And is the only one left. Fun Gaming went for something that I could understand, but without putting everyone in the fight, I don't think it was going to succeed.
And that's it. Timed Out takes the victory. They're only behind now by one battle as Fun Gaming is still in the lead 3-2. Straight up brawl fest in the center, and Timed Out came up on top.
Yeah, Fun Gaming didn't bring a T49. They tried to counter that with T54 lightweights to absorb a lot of that damage more easily, but when they started their engagement, they did not get the focus fire that they needed to get a lead. And they also left two light tanks out of the fight. They also brought a T20 mounting the 105, I think, which is just curious, and I don't agree with that.
It's Viet.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think that was an experiment that may have failed for them.
All right, well, Timed Out gets the attacking victory as well. Fun Gaming was on the defense there on Cliff. And moving again into the attack versus defense, does Fun Gaming hold back? Do they not go into the center compared to Timed Out's positioning of moving straight into the center and landing the first shot on the high ground?
I don't think you can ignore the center of the map. I mean, it is control. From there, you own the entire battlefield. There's nothing that you can press on your opponent if they have the center control, especially if you're on the defense. If you're on the defense, you have to give more ground, and if your opponent brings T49s, other light tanks, there's always a way in. There's always a weak point, and unless you can perfectly predict and adjust somehow, it's not going to work out, at least when it comes to a fight. Maybe it works out if you can play for time, but you have to control the lighthouse if you're the defender.
But can these teams give ground, almost sacrificially, for the flag cap that's further to south and just guard the north, or even bring Artie and just have that pepper the tanks that are trying to cap in the flag cap?
There's no safe spots for Artie.
I know. I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate here, but are teams, are they capable of attacking or at least brawling on Cliff in a different section, or approaching this map differently compared to what we're seeing? Because right now it's a T49 frag fest between tankers.
That's a big part of it. You can just depend on the T49. It makes enough of the shells connect that you can rely on it to deal some damage. Maybe not all the time. There's a few where it won't, but that's the nature of the game. Sometimes one of your rolls won't be effective.
Yeah. Battle number 6 between our two teams is about to begin on Cliff once again. Randall, what do we have for tanks?
It looks like we have a 1393 RU251s, T54 lightweight, a T49, and a 5916 from Fun Gaming, changing it up yet again, and now deciding that they need to get back on the T49 pain train. Timed Out Gaming is actually bringing the same lineup as last time, perching T69, 1390, RU251, 2 T49s, and that T37.
And Timed Out? heading up the north side of the map.
And it looks
On
like
the-
it'll
on
be
the west.
Yeah, a little east versus west. This is something we've seen in the past, but I would say it usually doesn't go quite in the favor of the west side team unless the east side team makes a huge mistake. Whereas it can go well for the east side team even if the west side team manages not to make any huge mistakes. So I favor the east in this matchup.
Well, the east is set and ready for Timed Out to push up from the west. This will be a slower battle because of the nature of the distance between these two teams here.
And oh, I see they're going to send Raul to snipe. May be able to get some shots into Facepalm. If he can get maybe 1 or 2 good connections on Facepalm, that could work, but the spotting's not going to be there. Facepalm's gotten too far away, and the support fire from Fun Gaming, I think, is going to be superior. You've got a higher position from Facepalm, who, yeah, as he gets up to the lighthouse, he has the ability to reach out and touch almost any tank on the map now.
Enrique and Gandorfo waiting around the corner here as Uvu's going to press up slightly.
And shots into inside. Inside taking a little damage in the T-54 lightweight and has to back off. Now Matt Knight and Nip 100 are going to move in from the south. And with inside not being able to make much of a connection right there, we do have potential shots fired from Facepalm into the ground down below, but I think he's going to hold back simply after support fire comes in from the west, forcing actually Fun Gaming to back off a little bit. And if they continue to lose much more ground, then Timed Out can begin dictating the pace of this battle.
Matt Knight Uvud still looking for an opening. Nip 100 playing a little bit of the danger game here. He's able to dodge 1 shot from the T-49.
Barely goes over.
Barely from Facepalm here. But he can't fire back.
No, he has the high ground.
Oh, there's a shot. Nip 100 gets hit. Trying to follow that shell in the air, and it lands against that tank. Nismoon gets hit for 225. Now inside is getting rocked. Matt Knight pushes up for the shot. Long range against BR. Game over. That shot connects. 977 total net volley.
And then Dantis from the north has good connecting shells onto BR. Game over. One more will do it, and I think that's all he has. And it isn't going to connect. So Dantis is going to have to wait for that reload. Go PvP. In the far north in his 5916 has tried to do a little bit of sniping, but I think is mostly here to keep the northwest cap safe for now. And now we're going to see a bit of a lull in the fight, I think, because we have Dantis on reload. Nismoon and Snow aren't getting much ground. You have Facepalm up high, not getting the results needed. He's only got 309 damage this battle.
Oof.
And he's fired only twice. That's far less than he needs to, but Matt Knight is going to posture up, take the position, and now we have Fun Gaming giving ground, like we were talking about earlier. Yep. And as they give ground, they're losing control. But the flip side of this is that they can do this and play for time, make Timed Out continually approach the situation safely to try and make something happen that is actually going to result in damage being dealt.
Timed Out, waiting for an opening here against Fun Gaming, the defenders, with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left. There's a shot and a connection. Uvud's hit for 212.
And he's going to have to back off, not recognizing that there was an angle from Dantis and Go PvP down south. Now Snow and Inside are firing off at something in the west, but not able to make any connections. Inside hiding, Nismoon staying up front. And I'm worried most about Facepalm, because Facepalm does have a bit of a low ground position, but I think getting a connection to Matt Knight might be a little easier than Matt Knight into Facepalm. And as they kind of square off, Matt Knight is watching what direction. Just kind of waiting on that little bit of ground for Facepalm to go up just a little bit too far. And now with game over, sending Gandorfo around the north, we might see a bit of a pinch. Gandorfo moving to fire at Facepalm, and then Matt Knight to pressure him from up above was going to be a difficult situation, as Raul and Enrique Dante also move in with Nip as well.
And there goes Nismoon. Raul and Enrique Dante still in the thick of it. Enrique has 3 shells left. Snow looking for a shot, and he is unable to get it. Gets another hit for 506. Enrique Dante still left alive, but now he's on the reload. And Uvud from up top gets hit by Yarick, and he's trying to get down below to take down Snow. Raul gets that kill. 3 tanks still left alive for Fun Gaming on the defense, and Timed Out starting to get their momentum back. Still plenty of tanks still left alive, but the HP is only 2 hit points difference right now between 2 teams.
It really is just that close, but the guns on the battlefield, that is what Timed Out has right now. They have more people on the battlefield. There's a chance for Fun Gaming to be able to take this one back and get some kills, but they need to make those connections because the tanks like Uvod, who are so low right now, are not taking fire, not going down. That's what Yarick needs, but with Matt Knight moving in, this could be the end of Yarick and the potential for a few kills to rack up. And now 2 remain. Dantist is all the way to the west, so is Go PvP, and 1 minute and 7 seconds left on the battle clock. Go PvP will approach from the south and perhaps the east, but Dantist does not have enough health to be able to run the gauntlet. He will take 2 shells and he's down. In the meantime, Timed Out has put Gandorfo on one flank, and then it looks like Nip on another, making that cap incredibly safe for them.
13 seconds left for the flag cap here. Timed Out is close. Go PvP, not close to anybody. 8 seconds left. Looks like they're going to do it.
And Go PvP might be able to find Nip, but that's going to be about the extent of the remainder of this battle. Nip looks to Go PvP, stops, zeros, misses the final shot, but that's a Timed Out victory.
And that's it. Timed Out is able to take it. And they put another point on the board, tying up the series 3-3 as we move on to battle number 7.
And I want to take a look at Matt Knight and along with Henrique Dante. Matt Knight fires 4 times, gets 3 for 3 connections for 1,653 damage. On the other side, T49 Facepalm only gets 744 in that battle, so there's a big difference. But Nip does not get more than 141 in that battle. So you have both sides of a T49 working for Timed Out. One of them doing excellent damage, one of them being the example of the risk that you take when you bring a T49. And that's just not dealing much damage at all. The rest of the team has to make up for that. And in this case, for Timed Out, they did. But this was also a cap victory and not a tank aside, as you like to call it.
Yeah, tank aside. It is a cap victory, but they would have taken out Go PvP with the amount of tanks that were still left alive, most likely.
Fair enough.
So now that it's tied up, Fun Gaming has got to think, okay, we've already used our Timed Out for this match. We need time to adjust and also to look at how we are going to attack, as Timed Out now has the defensive position and possibly advantage here on Cliff.
You may have a point with that. I think, though, that Cliff is one of the maps where attack defense isn't going to factor in as much into your strategy.
The line isn't as clear.
Yeah, well, there is a clear line, but it's not because of the cap points. It's because of your spawns. You have that just right across the middle of the map, almost equal timing from north to south towards the lighthouse as you have from south to north.
Mm-hmm.
So they both have that opportunity. There's no huge advantage for the most important part of the map, and that's what they fight for.
Tied up 3-3. Fun Gaming and Timed Out. Can Fun Gaming stop the momentum of Timed Out, or will we see an actual first-time victory, full victory, from the Brazilian team here in Battle 7? What do we have for tanks, Randall?
All right, Fun Gaming is going to continue to try and bring something different every time. 1390, 2 RU251s, a T54 lightweight, a T49 again, and then Go PvP is going to bring an E25, and Nismoon will put in the M41 Walker Bulldog. On the other side, Timed Out is going to also shift it up, T69, 1390, 2 RU251s, 2 T49s, and a T37. Again, both these teams experimenting with lineup, bringing things that I believe are inspired by the other regions. And they're going to clash in the west. Facepalm is leading the way to take that high ground in the east.
We're going to see a straight-up clash between these two teams immediately, and Raul is going to be the first man to get hit. A big missed shot coming from one of the T49s from, I believe that was Timed Out, and they're able to take down Raul first. Enrique Dante is going to be the next target, and he starts to melt as he falls back here. Timed Out in some troubles. Gandorfo's the next tank to take significant damage. Fun Gaming is shutting down Timed Out, and this is going to be a shift of momentum. Big shots coming from both sides.
And bounced shells from players of Timed Out, really allowing Dantis to stay alive longer than he should and just get into a better and better position. Now they're just going to keep it rolling, keep the damage going, and while Matt Knight is still alive, able to deal damage, so is Nip and Uvad. ideal tanks that you'd want in the situation. There are just too many guns, too many bodies on the battlefield for Timed Out to respond to, and this is very quickly going to Fun Gaming.
And Snow definitely wants to get a shot from up top. He's cruising for it, and then RU-251. Nip 100 is going to continue to fall back. He's the last tank alive. Snow's looking for it. He's ready for it. He gets a shot from behind. He's going to get on top of the tank, but Facepalm is able to get the kill. And Fun Gaming leads the series 4-3. Just like that, as we'll move into battle number 8 after this.
Oh, that was a unintended engagement, I'm sure, from both sides, because that opening move, this is one of those maybe like 15% of the time kind of a thing. Like,
yeah.
I'm ballparking it. You won't see this happen all the time, but when it does, it's just how it starts that I think judges it all. Because you see Raul go down immediately.
Yeah, right at the beginning, because Raul can't shift backwards. He doesn't turn to the right to get back behind cover. He's not using his natural momentum of his tank. He's going off into the left. And what's next to him? Rocks, a small little mountain. There's no escape for Raul.
But no one follows it up. Everyone else from Timed Out saw that huge number of tanks and said, whoa, hold up. And that was probably something that didn't need to happen, because once you hold up, you leave Raul out to die. And if you can't get another tank down in response before backing off, then you've wasted that engagement.
Yep.
And you have to take advantage of the fact that you've already stumbled into a trap or into a mistake, or they've made a faster run to that part of the map. And with the lineup, as I look back to it from Fun Gaming and from Timed Out, I'm seeing that T69, those two T49s, that could have been a more explosive opening from Timed Out than you would have seen from Fun Gaming. With the two T49s, if they'd made connections, T69 to just find someone and finish him off, that should have been able to go to Timed Out if they kept up their aggression. But because Fun Gaming got there first and was able to keep the aggression up, didn't make a mistake in that fight, and kept pressing forward after they got their advantage, it went to Fun Gaming easily because they knew what to do.
It's kind of like no hesitation, right? And because of that, because of forward is the best direction, that principle coming from Fun Gaming, they're able to continue to charge. Whereas Timed Out just fell back behind next to the mountains. Honestly, they just kept hugging the mountains going, oh no, the whole time.
They were hoping to drag their opponent back, but
but there was no setup to return fire, to punish them, or to create a corner game, none of that. And that's another good point with Fun Gaming. They didn't try to create any corner games either, going, oh, well, just put one tank out there, see what happens. Like, oh no, we're going. We are going right now to kill Timed Out, and that's what they did. Timed Out called the timeout, which added 60 seconds to our countdown here.
Well, while we have that opportunity, Hammer Time is 5-0'd Victoria's Secret.
Really?
Yes.
Oof. Well, Victoria's Secret's not going to make it to the playoffs now.
No, I don't think they have much of a chance if I go and check.
We'll
Victoria's Secret now can only get 15 points max in the rest of the season, which makes it so they no longer have a chance of getting to the playoffs.
Unfortunate for them. As we move into battle number 8 between Fun Gaming and Timed Out, Randall, what do we have for tanks?
For tanks, it looks like we've got a 5100 T32, 1390 RU251 T54 lightweight, an E25, and an M41 Walker Bulldog. This is a Rainbow strat. A tank of every nation we can get that makes sense, and one that makes some sense but not a whole lot.
Sure.
And then T69 1390, 2 RU251s, the T49, and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs for Timed Out. The more standard lineup.
Okay, Timed Out. Moving as one. Look at that. Look at how quickly these 1390s and RU251s can move along with the 41 Bulldogs.
Fun Gaming is trying to bully them out of position by bringing heavier armor and more damage. Snow, even though he's going to be far behind everyone else, is going to be able to play the whole down game. And if Timed Out cannot deal with that, then Fun Gaming is going to be able to take this one 5-3. If bringing the T32 and the 5100 turns to be a mistake and they don't utilize it properly, Timed Out's going to be able to tie this one and take it to yet another tiebreaker. And the only chance for them to keep their playoff hopes alive is to win in that tiebreaker. If they lose, it's over for them. They don't have a chance, and they only can hope to crush other teams' dreams.
Timed Out with their spread as the defending team. We'll have 2 tanks in the Bravo 7, Bravo 6 section. The rest will be below the Charlie line, waiting for Fun Gaming to push in. Now, Timed Out has the defending advantage, time being on their side.
But that is really it for them.
Yes.
They have time. They can play that, but they can't make a mistake. They can't expose a tank too much. They can't get restless. And they need to stay at the same time mobile enough and aware enough of the battlefield to be able to react to what Fun Gaming is going to bring to them, because they don't have a lot of intel yet. There are members of Fun Gaming sitting in the west waiting in a trap for one of Timed Out's tanks to just walk out into it if they decide to go and search for something, which would be a huge mistake for Timed Out, but we have that situation waiting to happen from Fun Gaming.
More shots fired, no connections yet.
And now we do have Facepalm, though, in the 5100, playing the high ground game. Oh, and that's... Is this the Okay, give me a second with this one. Fun Gaming sending T-54 Lightweight, RU-251, and the E-25 to the north, which, as GoPVP knocks over a tree, that could be the indicator to Timed Out of the position, if they're watching. But this could be a cap fast, where GoPVP is using his E-25 because it's so tiny to hide behind inside in Yarick just long enough to get the cap victory. But it all depends on Timed Out's ability to stop this and also not walk into the trap, which is T-32 5100 waiting on the high ground. Backup is Nizmoon and Dantist. Dantist also in a nice hidden position waiting to react to anything.
Fun Gaming looking for that opening. They need it. They needed to get this victory.
And here's GoPVP on the cap. Sitting still, hidden, very tiny little tank. If he goes down, that could be the end of Fun Gaming strategy.
Oh, GoPVP hit for 248.
And shots fired.
Whoa! Close.
Just
Real
short.
close.
Just short of that connection. And now Raul is taking damage. And is going to have to back off as more shells hit dirt in front of him. Facepalm, waiting to find that shot. Snow waiting to find that shot. Inside, firing blindly at a few bushes to make sure that there's no one passive there, because that's something they've pulled. Fun Gaming has put tanks in that position. And now that they have been spotted and they've lost that early cap opportunity with only 3 minutes left in the game, they need to approach it quickly and create that distraction, or else the capping capability is just going to vanish for them.
Yeah, 3 minutes left. If there's a time to attack, it has to be within the next 30 seconds. Fun Gaming with their spread are really spread out. They can't move as one really as a team, but now as they continue to congregate a little bit, Yarick and Inside are the ones moving the most here. GoPVP still close to that fly cap. They've got to make a decision right now where they're going to attack.
There's a place, though, for Timed Out to make a huge mistake. Uvad and Cess are way in the south. Now, if they stay there too long, which good call by Timed Out, they're going to move those M41 Walker Bulldogs back to the north. They realize that the time is coming near for them to actually have a fight. They can't be waiting for that flank to happen. There's GoPVP on the cap. And they're going to be returning to base just in time to join this fight and support everyone else on the team.
Gandorfo gets hit from around the corner. He's going to spot Yarick. And inside, Nizmoon has been spotted as well on the side of Fun Gaming.
And has to back off as Enrique Dante is moving forward with support by Uvad and Cess. 5100 T32 combo, though, have begun to make some little connections here on Matt Knight and Gandorfo. But the cap, 74 seconds left, which is just enough time, but a good reset from Raul is going to be the difference, I think, between victory and defeat.
And a big shot against Yarick for 1,041 damage from the T49. That's really going to cut the northern placement of Fun Gaming here. And Yarick goes down. That's the first tank destroyed for Fun Gaming.
And there's a little bit of a fight going on in the south from Enrique Dante and Nizmoon. It looks like Dantist is taking fire. No, that is Dantist disconnected after the fight started. And that is huge for Fun Gaming. They are not able to make that work. Enrique Dante now takes down Nizmoon as well before taking some fire and trying to escape.
Raul took a big hit earlier on, but now he has enough HP to land some significant hits against Inside and GoPVP. It looks like he actually shot Matt Knight on the move, and Raul gets destroyed. Snow gets the kill against Raul, and Inside continues to hold with 1 minute and 3 seconds left. 3 tanks against 5. Timed Out's in a great position right now.
They really are. They can play for that just time, because Facepalm sits with 1 shell. Snow catches fire after taking a shell from Nip, and I think it's done. 1,396 hit points left. Your opponent has more than double that.
Missed shot from inside as he pushes up against Matt Knight. Matt Knight's going to be on the reload. Inside sees it. He lands a shot. He would have destroyed Matt Knight if he landed the first one. Now Matt Knight's going to be loaded. Inside, however, could get it. He's able to dodge a shot from further away. Matt Knight falls down below, waiting for inside to come to him. Fires, misses inside. Does not go for the kill. He recognizes that Uvud is watching him. He, however, takes a hit from Uvud. He falls back. Matt Knight pushes forward and gets the kill. And that's it. Timed out, ties up the series. Fun Gaming has the choice, though, for the tiebreaker because, according to our admin, they did more damage in the series already, even before that battle to accumulate all the HP.
Okay. So with that, what do they choose on Prohorovka, which is our tiebreaker map?
Well, most likely it's going to be defense, but we may have to revisit this after this series. But does this mean that no matter what, timed out is done?
No.
They can't make it to the playoffs?
It does not. It means they can tiebreak for the playoffs, but that is their highest achievement that they can get. 17 points is what they, if they win this tiebreaker, 17 points is the max. If they lose in this tiebreaker, their hopes are dashed. They have no more chance to get into it unless act of God kind of a thing.
Something crazy happens. Yeah, but just by points alone,
yes,
they can't make it. Well, the pressure is really on for timed out. With their opponents, Fun Gaming still have a shot in the playoffs. Win, lose, tie, tiebreaker, loss, tiebreaker, win. As of right now, after this series, things could change in Week 8.
Yes.
So the pressure is definitely on for a Brazilian team. Now, will they continue to play through the rest of the season? Yes, they'll have 3 more match days. But when you look at the point scoring, they're not going to be able to make it if they can't win this. This is big. This is big for our Brazilian friends here.
It really is. And we're going to have a defense from Fun Gaming on Prohorovka. It's going to be all about timed out's ability to break this and take the win. If they do, that is huge for them. If they lose, we cannot say this enough times. This is the playoffs for timed out right now. And this is the opponent that they need to win against because Fun Gaming is one of the 2 teams they need to overtake in the standings. The other is, I believe, currently Arbis. If I check real quick, it is, Arbis and Fun Gaming. And that is so much pressure to be under for one battle. Just one battle. And if it's a tiebreaker and it comes to a head-to-head, they would then win over and go into the playoffs.
Yeah. Waiting for the final countdown here from our admin for these teams. Looks like we're at 60 seconds right now for tank selection. That took a little bit of a while.
I think it's making
verifying
sure
everything.
Yeah.
Prohorovka, the stands for both these teams. They don't really stand out when it comes to Prohorovka.
I think timed out. They're aggressive, over the top kind of stuff.
No. They're also their T-32 placements of guarding the Crossroads section. I mean, they're kind of they're the Crossroads team, right? They cover Ruinberg Crossroads phenomenally well, and they've covered Prohorovka very well.
I think, though, that they do a better job at just outright aggression against a team that's going to bring that 2 T-32 setup.
Okay.
And they're going to just punish them if they bring that. But it comes down to if we'll see that from Fun Gaming. Will they make the mistake of doing that northeast split where they put some tanks on the train tracks, send some tanks to the east, and then T-32s on the west side of the tracks? If they do that strategy, they will be dominated by timed out. There's a chance for them, but I really hope for Fun Gaming's sake they do not go with that strategy that so many previous opponents have.
Battle number 9, Fun Gaming versus timed out, the tiebreaker, tied up 4-4. The winner will get 2 points in the league. The loser only 1 point. If timed out does not win this, they will not make it to the playoffs. Randall, what do we have for tanks?
All right, we have a 5 RU-251 lineup and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs for Fun Gaming. They're not going to make the T-32 mistake that so many other teams have before them. They're going to go for a faster lineup. On the other side, though, timed out has brought a T-32. That's game over in that. 1390, 3 RU-251s, and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs. If that T-32 from game over is caught out, that will be the end for timed out. This hit squad of RU-251s is looking to find some tanks, focus them down, and then use the smaller damage from the M41s to clean up those left behind. And just off the bat, Fun Gaming goes mid, looks for it, does not find anything, and now inside is looking to cross, takes fire, and is going to have to back off as Nip makes the connection, but Yarek moves up to support. And so does everyone else, up and over. Facepalm even catches a little bit of air, but he's catching a lot of focus fire for 626. And as everyone moves past him, we're going to see if they can keep the focus, but damage is starting to spread.
Nismoon taking the brunt of that damage coming from Timed Out, as now Fun Gaming still up and over together as one team. You have a number of Timed Out tanks that are not in the fight. They're too spread out. They're too far away, and this will be the advantage of Fun Gaming if they can continue to land their shots. However, that help coming from the south is starting to land a couple hits against Fun Gaming, and the momentum is starting to shift. Timed Out has almost 5K hit points, 2,500 for Fun Gaming in estimates, and Snow is very low. Inside could be the next tank to fall, and now they're just clustered around together. 3 tanks remain against 5, and Timed Out continues to volley. Snow is so low, falling back. Yarick takes another hit to the front. Gandorfo and BR Game Over were so far away, but they were able to land their long-range shots, and here comes Cess up on top on the hill, looking for any opening shots. Snow, Yarick, and Funny Bunny are moving back. Funny Bunny takes a hit for 158. Snow and Yarick still in the fight. Yarick takes a hit for 278, 442. One more shot and he will go down. Snow and Funny Bunny are bugging out of there as the defenders.
Cess misses that final shot, but it doesn't really matter. Henrique Dante has moved up, and now Snow will try to escape, isn't spotted, but now here's a moment, and there's a connection. Henrique getting a second kill, and only Funny
Bunny's tracked. Funny Bunny got tracked on the railroad tracks, but another shot does not land to punish the non-moving tank here. Funny Bunny has 4 minutes and 43 seconds to 1, stay alive, and 2, reset the tanks.
It's over.
On the fly cap.
It's over. Dude, tell me a situation in which Funny Bunny is able to bring this one back. I've seen some crazy comebacks, but this is far beyond it. Fun Gaming has made a mistake. They went in against Timed Out, did get some kind of advantage early on with Focus Fire, but once they lost the momentum because there were too many obstacles, and there was too much of a
they didn't know where to go after that. They're like, oh, once they got over the railroad tracks, they didn't know where to go after they started the fight. Here comes Cess. Rams! Oh, barely misses. I thought he was going to ram Funny Bunny, but it's not able to get it, and Cess gets the final shot. And Timed Out stays alive.
Barely.
Barely.
This is right there, just on the line. If Fun Gaming wins another match the rest of the season, or RBIS wins another match the rest of the season, Fun Gaming loses all hope. And those are 2 opponents that Fun Gaming has already gone up against and already just now defeated. The rest of the opponents for Arbis and Fun Gaming are what determines whether or not Timed Out goes to our playoffs.
Wow.
Which is probably the thinnest chance that exists right now in the league.
All right. Well, the only way to find out really is going to happen in our next matchup of RBIS versus the Cunninghams, a team currently in 9th place versus the 2nd place team. That match begins after this. Stay tuned.